America's, someone's, I think it's the world's church service for the deaf led ASL service to reach unseen community. Friend of the channel, our very own Pastor Ed Newton. Whoa! He was at the Blessed God Summit.
Come on.
2025.
And I learned a really crazy thing about his parents in this video.
Yeah, he showed us that when he spoke at Rhythm. I don't think you came that night.
I know I was hooking it for the audience.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There are 100,000 people that don't go to Rhythm.
Anyway, what you said for you. Yeah, he shared something really cool in this.
Nearly 96% of deaf people nationwide are not part of a church, but for the first time in San Antonio, Texas, that is changing. Community Bible Church is launching a service led by the deaf in American Sign Language, giving thousands a new way to worship in their heart language.
Come on.
CBN's Brody Carter has this story.
Third most unreached people group in the world.
Shout out Pastor Ed.
78,000 deaf people in San Antonio.
Wow.
And no deaf church.
That reality struck a personal nerve with Texas pastor Ed Newton.
Come
My
on.
mother was born deaf. My father was born deaf.
Come on.
Was an only child. My mom had cerebral palsy. She was told she'd never have kids. And so God gave my mom and dad me.
According to Deaf Missions, just 2% of the world's deaf population knows Christ, leaving 98% still in search of a divine relationship and eternal life.
Jeez Louise.
That's crazy.
I didn't know it was that like that.
2% is wild.
Well, how about also just his own story? Like his mom told she can't have kids.
Cerebral palsy. Both deaf?
Yeah, both deaf.
He got the hand signals unlocked.
Yeah. Wow, that's heavy.
Pastor Ed is who I got come on from, by the way. so I need the come on in sign language.
I'm tearing up.
I wasn't sure if he
his story.
just like it went down the wrong pipe or somewhere.
Yeah.
That's why Pastor Newton's Community Bible Church is launching a full deaf church experience.
Come on.
So on Saturday nights at 5 o'clock starting in June, Pastor Ashton's going to be preaching, teaching. Our deaf group will be worshiping.
Let's go.
He's nasty with the sign
First
language
time in
too.
history, we now have a full-time deaf pastor on our staff.
I grew up, don't understand deaf culture. So when I went into this deaf church, everybody was signing. And then after I left, I started weeping because this is my heart language.
Pastor Ashton Luff lost his hearing at age 3. After years of struggling in hearing environments, a turning point came at a Christian camp for the deaf, where he directly encountered the gospel thanks to sign language with no interpreter needed.
In Romans chapter 8, verse 28, is that everything happened for his good purpose. And the purpose he gave me is a voice. And the purpose he gave me is my hands. And God said, go use it. And I did.
Now, the very hands that once felt left out are helping others find their place and be seen in the church.
So I would encourage every lead pastor, ask the question, how many deaf people live in your town?
Come on.
And I think you'll be surprised. Deaf people, like my mom and dad, will walk into your church.
From feeling forgotten to being called, these San Antonio faith leaders believe God speaks every language, even the silent ones of the heart.
Fire
so
peace.
Cool, that is so cool. Pastor Ed Newton's a good friend of the channel's. Whew. This is heavy, bro.
Will he be back at the Blessed God Summit too?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got to have him back at this point.
Damn, 2%.
That's crazy.
That's really bad.
That's crazy, man. And
that's really bad. That's like a very it's a very reachable audience.
It's just like you just pockets that are just forgotten about. Pockets of people that people just don't think about. And
but someone's getting them. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Like who knows what's getting them.
Right.
Like, where do they gravitate to?
Right.
It's probably not just like deaf groups, right? The deaf groups probably have some sort of slant or leaning or religious affiliation.
Yeah, and I've seen churches have sign language people on the side of the stage.
Doesn't hit the same.
It probably doesn't hit the same, but I think it's interesting to see in light of all the conversations around churches and in light of all the conversations around mega churches being bad and deca churches being bad, right? Giga churches.
Too much money spent on church staff. Fire the sign language interpreter.
Right. And to see a church of this size say, hey, we're going to invest in reaching this group, this forgotten demographic of people is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty amazing. I think it's a great testament. And I'm grateful. I remember when we had Zoe in 2021, my daughter's 4 now, but I remember we had a scary moment where they were testing her hearing.
Oh, and it wasn't coming back.
It wasn't coming back, and there was that moment of like, oh man, like what if we get to raise a deaf child, and what is that going to be like, and all that kind of stuff. And then they said it was the fluid from the clogged ears, and they got it out, and then she passed the hearing test. But so like this sort of stuff is not, it's not far removed from any of us. You know, like we take hearing for granted.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so I think him investing in this way, his story, is powerful. You know, so yeah, props to our friends over at CBC, man. Props to Pastor Ed. I think he's one of the pastors doing it right. Like I think he's one of the dudes that is leading by example. His staff is great. His team is great. They do a lot for the community. They just one of them. Like you meet a celebrity pastor. He's not really even a celebrity, but you meet like a massive 20,000 person chapter pastor similar to Pastor Chris Brown, and you go, man, these guys are the salt of the earth.
Super.
So. What do Wes Huff, KB from Southside Rabbi, Ninjas of Butterflies, Josh Nadeau all have in common? They're all going to be with me live at Bless God Summit 2026 here at the Seabird Resort in Oceanside, California, while we're right on the water. Now, those of you guys that attended the first Bless God Summit, the 400 of you, we heard you loud and clear. We're keeping the prices the same. At a nicer resort, the lineup is gonna be even more incredible. We're bringing back some of the speakers, and we're even renting out the Oceanside Amphitheater for the most incredible night of music and outreach. My man Dustin Tavella, who won America's Got Talent, is coming back, and an additional lineup of performers that are all gonna be performing here at the Oceanside Amphitheater, the final night of the Bless God Summit. We heard your requests. The kids' tickets, ages are going up. The resort is even nicer. We won't be sitting down as much. We'll be out networking. Some of the sessions will even be outside on the water, all with the vision of leaning into worldview, virtue, and impact. March 5th, 6th, and 7th here in Oceanside, California. Bless God Summit. Go to blessgodsummit.com and get your tickets now.
I decided to just come, not really knowing what to expect, and man, I'm so glad that I did.
You don't expect it to be so intimate, and so like the group of people that was there, I think it was great. We were able to see people who are truly seeking God. We got to see a ton of people who are special, we'll call it in the industry.
One of our major takeaways has just been how God blesses in you being faithful. A lot of Christians just want to chase after success instead of chasing faithfulness.
I think it's just been really effective how everybody has been teaching you how they've been able to follow Jesus and make disciples as they're going.
It's a really classy summit. I am just very impressed with the quality and the structure, and just a very classy, very nice.
As much as we can get so much from online content, there's a huge difference between being here. None of these people are egotistical. They'll shake hands with you.
I did the sponsorship back in November and just left it in God's hands and just prepared myself, if he allowed it, that I would be here. Here I am.
People that you're gonna meet are amazing.
You're gonna meet friends here, and you're also gonna be edified.
I'm honestly amazed at the diversity and the need.
It's a super fun time, so you guys are not gonna wanna miss out.